The three biggest upsets I expect to happen at Goml 2023 are Kameme's run, MK Big Boss, and Peanut. Now, Kameme, I think, has a bracket to win this entire tournament. Like, he's probably going to beat Zamba. I think it's just going to be tough for Zamba to actually beat him. And as long as he doesn't run into Shuton, I think he's got it. It's something looking like he beats Zamba, then he fights Sonics or MK Leo, then he fights Spargo or Tweak, and he can win the tournament. I really do believe it. I do think the best path for him would be beating Zamba, beating Sonics, and then beating Tweak. But all of that is not out of the question, because I think Zamba is just not doesn't have anyone in his path that would probably beat him. It's just going to be like a tough tournament because it's a tough tournament. But I don't think Zamba's going to have anyone to stop him. I don't think Kameme has anyone to stop him. And I think if Kameme doesn't run into Shuton, like if Shuton beats Tweak, then it might be curtains. But I think Kameme could win this entire tournament. Now, I think Big Boss is just really underrated by a lot of people in their eyes, because Rob's a very common character. People just forget that Rob's broken. But you think of Rob, you think of Anathema, you think of Zamba, and Big Boss is coming up in a lot of people's minds because he is incredible. He just doesn't travel as much, and he's not in the US, so he doesn't get to go to as many big majors as he is. But when he won the tournament over Karama, it was kind of insane, and he was kind of dominant too. So I'm excited to see how Big Boss does. I think he's going to actually just get top 8 at this tournament. And Peanut, no one wants to fight Peanut. No one likes fighting Peanut. It's scary. He's very good with Little Mac. I think he's just going to run over some people. But, there's some bad matchups he could run into. Like, any of the Diddy Kongs are going to be really tough for him. Any of the Robs are going to be tough for him. But Peanut always perseveres through crazy upsets. So I guess we're going to see. Now, if we're looking at the rest of the bracket, of course, I want to see Apollo Kage and Karama do great, because those two are my homies. I think Karama has a pretty good bracket to get where he's seeded to be, but it's going to be hard for him to go above that, because I think he has to go through probably some of the hardest people in the entire tournament for Mario. Running into Sonics is going to be really, really tough. Running into Riddles would be very tough. Just any of the top 8 people are just tough. The best people he can probably fight are Spargo, because he's beaten before, Leo because he's always super close, or Light. But yeah, Riddles is going to be tough. Shuton, no, he could beat Shuton. He's beaten Shuton before. Shuton and Kameme are definitely doable, but they're not on this side of the bracket. So we'll see how Karama does. He's going to have to make a crazy upset to actually win the tournament. Onin, it's Steve, and Onin's one of the best players of them. So, it could always go through it. The Buzz, I feel like he just has some really big walls here. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat Light. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat Spargo or Leo or Sonics. But, the Buzz did win his first major this year, and I think we can just see a big surprise coming through it. Now, if we go into the lower seedings, then we can see like Cosmos, who's had a really rocky start, but I think it still makes sense that he's seated this high. He's just had a rocky start of the year because he's had like little losses all over the place, losing to Donkey Kong, to Plant. It's kind of nuts. But Cosmos is always crazy. I'm excited to see Big D. It's just, I feel like Big D is always like, he's top 3s as long as he doesn't have 1 or 2 specific matchups, which are probably both Pyramithras. As long as he doesn't run into MK Leo or Shuton, then I think he has a pretty good chance to get top 8 here. Anathema, of course, I want to see Anathema pop off. Anathema and MK Big Boss are the 2 I really like seeing Rob go crazy. And, they always just have the possibility to get top 8. So if we go into the lower seeding, let's see. Usually I would like to talk about each kind of individual player, but I don't see a lot of people that I could surprisingly see this. I think maybe Goblin, who's seated very, very low, who always just has 1 or 2 crazy runs to be like a top player. So maybe this could be the tournament he does it. Lane just got second at was it Patchwork? I think it was Patchwork. Crazy beating Mudace with DDD. Everyone's freaking out about that. It's kind of insane. But yeah, we can see how Ling does with his DDD Peach combo. I would think the people they're sleeping on probably Doorstop. I think Doorstop's insane, but he hasn't been too much. So we'll see how he does. I'm expecting these 1 or 2 upsets from Doorstop. And then if I were to make any guesses of who in the lower seeding is going to make a crazy run, maybe through the 49 to 64, I think the best chance we have is Nair. Nair is a crazy Ridley, and You know, not a lot of people know the matchup. With the right bracket, he can do it. With the right bracket, he can get top 8. But, you know, it's going to be really tough. There's just a lot of amazing players. Ooh, Ludo's here too, so I'm excited to see how Ludo does. There's definitely just so many stacked. This is like one of the most stacked tournaments of the year, so I'm excited to see how this goes and who wins.